See, I actually played this video like in front of Mrs. today. The one where he shoots himself. She's like, that is very school inappropriate. And I'm like, well, there's like not even half the school here right now. Could you call it a full school?
Then she started laughing about it.
Yeah, could you call it half school appropriate, if you would?
What about half school appropriate? She's like, that's not fish.
Does it feel nice?
It's getting warm.
Getting warm.
No, man, I can't.
I thought it was at full capacity at this point. I can't even barely feel it. My toes are fucking icicles though right now.
How? How are you this like thin-skinned?
Bro, I don't know, because I'm white.
Bro,
he's white
I'm pretty
too.
fucking white.
But you have muscle, dude. You are a behemoth.
Stop flapping that thing in the mic. Stop flapping it at all. You know what you can do? You can just go.
Just open up the condom.
Oh, just open it up.
That was a very big peak.
Don't yell.
Yeah, I know. I'm not stupid.
I have the coom in my trash can.
Coom.
Fucking coomers.
Fucking coomers.
Hit it with a coom.
What's up?
It's the Lounge Cast.
So welcome to the LLLoungecast.
What do we
number 1.
What do we talk about first?
I mean, it's just about who we are. Without going into too much detail, of course.
All right then.
My name is not Orange, but that's what you can call me. This right here is red, and that's blue. Okay,
Hi.
Let's go.
You're pointing it. Okay.
Yeah, yep.
I am blue. This is my voice.
Red.
Red.
Red's a dumbass.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
A bit of a small brain, if you would call it that.
I don't know, man.
What do you mean? I don't know, man.
I definitely have the biggest brain out of all of us here.
I don't think that's true.
You know,
I mean,
you
your
know,
grade
he
point
has the
average
muscle.
says something, but
What
I don't
do
think
you
your voice
mean?
does.
Okay, he has the muscle. What do I have then?
The charm.
the autism.
The autism.
Oh,
the
man.
charm. I mean, yeah, he's the only one with a girlfriend, but whatever.
The only one with a girl.
All right, so
That is also a friend.
should we tell the? Is it all right if I tell my traveling stories?
Yeah, I want to hear
Go
this
ahead.
traveling story.
Okay, so
Wait, no, not yet.
you comfortable?
I think we should give
Yeah.
them like a general demographic of what type of people we are.
I'm white.
Kind of like,
I am a solid Caucasian.
okay, I guess we'll start with stuff that's like, it's like, first of all, we're all seniors in high school right now.
Yeah.
We got edgy humor, but we also listen to Brockhampton.
So do with that as you will.
Yeah, later in the year we'll all be going to college. Not all the same place though.
No, these two will be.
And we don't
I'm
live in
the
Wyoming
outlier.
because it doesn't exist.
So all right, let's just jump into it, shall we?
Right up into the stories.
A little bit. I'd say about a week ago tomorrow, I went to a little festival, a little celebration, if you will, that is called Groundhog Day, in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. And I went there with my girlfriend, my family, and my girlfriend's family. So it was all in all about 8 people. And we had the road trip there, no problems there. We had a great night that first night in Puxatawney. We just walked around, had some good food, went to go watch the Groundhog Day movie. Stop shaking that thing around. Went to go see the Groundhog Day movie.
About a hot pack.
Yeah, he has some hot hands because he says it's too cold in my room.
Dude, I'm
even
fucking
with a
cold.
70-degree heater, dude.
I'm cold, dude.
Oh my god.
It doesn't feel anything.
Maybe it's the corona.
Yeah, he also has the corona, so
Yeah, right.
the clap, if you will.
What?
But anyway,
Not the same thing.
see, we had a great night. Got back to the hotel, everything was cool. We wake up at 2 a.m. the next day to go to Gobbler's Knob. Yes, that is the real
Gobbler's knob.
Slob on my knob like corn on the cob, dude.
Slob on my knob like gobbler on the knob.
Wait,
Like-
hobgoblin, knob slobber, double-decker, pecker wrecker, you mean?
name. Yes. And so we woke up at that time, went there, everything was cool, just fine. When we got there, it wasn't snowing. When we got there, it wasn't snowing. But then,
Yeah.
that night,
I assume it started snowing.
it started snowing. like nobody's business. And when we got to Walmart, which was where we had that was our like rendezvous point. It was completely just caked in snow. So we're all bundled up, ready to go. Because the way it works is you have to go to the local Walmart and like wait for like the school buses.
That
to
sounds
come
so
and get you.
sketchy, though.
It's so
I
sketchy.
I remember
right?
you saying that, and that's just so sketchy.
Every time I see a school bus at Walmart, I just question going in.
But like,
I question it because it's just like, why don't you just drive there? Or why don't you just go there?
because no, I'll tell you why. It's because one, there's gonna be way too many people there. Two, it's in the middle of nowhere. Like legit, it is in the middle of the forest.
I mean, I
Middle
guess
of
that's how you
nowhere
find a
Walmart.
groundhog.
I'm talking about Galvers, not. That's like
Oh,
that's where
yeah,
that's where it
Galvers
is. It's
not.
just so that's
Isn't
where
this-
we have
isn't
to
this
go.
So this is a restaurant or no? This is a...
No, this is like a. Okay, what's the best way to describe the location? It's like there's like a thing that looks like a ski lodge, and then there's like a forest where
Right.
they have the stage where they're doing all the groundhog stuff, you know.
Okay.
So we get there, get to the knob, after about 40 minutes after we initially arrived at the Walmart,
Sounds like a good night.
and this is where it started to go off the deep end.
Right.
So I had my new $25 knockoff wireless earbuds that these two have been grilling me about all week.
Nice AirPods,
Oh my
dude.
But
god.
I had that in, and it got to a
Call them
point.
the welfare pods.
It got to a point where it was about 5 a.m, and I was still listening to them. I wasn't even listening to music at that point. I just needed something to keep me grounded. To describe the layout, there's this like opening, then there's like a tent that they funnel heat into, then there's this forest, then there's the place. So we have a first couple good hours. They were good, whatever.
Right.
Then not much happened. It was around I want to say 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. ballpark when both me and my girlfriend started to get extremely exhausted. So we went in the heat tent with like our families watching over us, and we just slept. We were both just gone. But
I mean, it was like 3 a.m.
It was-
I remember I woke up 3 a.m. I had to be up at like 6 o'clock or something for work.
yeah,
But I woke up at 3, tried to go back to sleep, but I woke up at 3 and I saw this Snapchat from you. And you looked miserable.
at 3
And I laughed and just passed out.
at 3 a.m, I was doing all right. But okay, so after we woke up, it started like leg pain started to set in, like just like cold started getting to our heads, and so we're sitting there. It's like I'll fast forward to when the groundhog actually showed up, which was 7:30. So they finally get the little thing out. He goes, "I didn't see my shadow," and so everyone goes, "Hooray!" and then immediately starts rushing to where the buses are going to be at the front gate. Now this was not good because we thought maybe we'll beat the rush. Apparently, about 1,000 other people had the same idea.
I can't believe there were 1,000 people there to see
There
the
were
groundhog.
more-
See, I don't get that either.
There
though.
were more than 1,000. There
I
were
don't-
like a good 10,000.
I think
would
that's
estimate.
something I'd
What?
watch on TV and never go to.
Oh
in
no!
person.
See,
I just Google it like a week after when
I
I hear it was
completely-
Groundhog's Day.
I completely recommend go to Puxatawny, like the town. Go there, eat some food, go see the movie in the community theater. That part was awesome. Don't go to Gobbler's Knob. That was the worst. So yeah, we got to the bus and there's this huge line and everything's, it's like okay, we'll move fast. So my mom and my stepdad get on the bus in front of us and they're like, okay, yeah, just stick together and everything will be all right. And we're like, okay. About 10 minutes pass and a bus pulls up. It's empty, and then it just passes us, like without letting anybody on. And we're sitting there like, okay, what's going on? And then another one comes and passes us. This is about 20 minutes into waiting, and at this point, my legs and feet were so almost frostbitten that I almost couldn't stand. Like I had to.
Is the correct term frostbitten? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think so.
Frostbiting?
Frostbited? Is that what you're gonna say?
No. I was just thinking maybe
Frostbitted.
that's the only other. I don't know.
Frostbitted.
Frostbitted?
Frostbitted. But yeah, no. We So yeah, at that point I'm like supporting myself on a rock, just trying not to fall over, because I didn't want my girlfriend to worry, because I felt like if I just dropped in the middle of the line, that wouldn't look too good.
Oh my god,
So-
you've been gone.
Stick together.
No, it wasn't
Your girlfriend's just carrying you like a D-Day.
No, it wasn't good at all. So like we finally got on the bus and we got to Walmart. Everything was fine. We got home fine. But that, like, I gotta tell you, that was one of the worst. Like, that night before, one of the best nights of, like, my entire life. That morning was the worst.
Tradition.
My stepbrother and I, when we left, he's like, that's the worst day I've had. He's like, I've never suffered so much. And he likes to overplay things a lot, but at that point I was like, yeah, you know what? I can't really discredit you on that one.
Right.
Giving me some, like, that one episode of SpongeBob where they're down in the ravine. And SpongeBob's, like, tapping on the candy bar and the bus shows up.
That was me. Except I was waiting for the bus like a good boy, and they still passed me. But anyway.
Oh my gosh.
I have one more traveling story to tell that only
Red
knows about, and I've never really told.
Only Red.
Only Red knows about, and I've never told Orange about this either. But this was this summer when I went to Boston. Do you remember the Snapchats?
Oh yeah.
So
Boston.
So I won't reveal what state we live in, but the airport that's nearest to me is very nice. You know, it is
really nice.
It's a pretty cool airport. So, you know, I went in there, everything was good. I was with my family, and we got on the flight. Everything's good. It was a like nighttime flight, so we got there at around 11 o'clock. Now, the airport at Boston when we got there was
Oh my god.
completely
Let's go.
decrepit. Like
Oof.
there was a lot of like, obviously a lot of things were under construction, but when we got to like the little area where we're waiting for the shuttle to get to the hotel, there were like payphones ripped out of the wall.
Jeez.
There were
my
like
God.
brown stains on the ceiling. And I was sitting there, I was like, what is this place?
Detroit, Boston.
And then when we got to the hotel, there was a man with a with a very stereotypical Boston accent arguing about I think it was the New York Yankees.
Very
and you-
stereotypical.
And he was like, I don't even it was
Bostonian talking about baseball.
it was like he was like getting into it too with the hotel manager. He was like, listen,
God, I would pay to watch that confrontation.
it was so
It just
funny.
sounds so
Listen.
entertaining.
It was pretty good. But we got to the hotel room and did I send you a picture of what the hallway looked like?
Oh yeah.
No, it looked like the back
Oh my
rooms.
god.
And we got to the hotel, everything was fine. I think it was a Holiday Inn Express, maybe.
Yeah, I saw live updates as this was happening.
And then oh yeah, by the way, a little seed for the future. There was this there was a billboard right across from the hotel for a little establishment called Wahlburgers. We'll get to that. But we got it, everything's fine. We wake up the next morning. I decided that day, and this wouldn't be an important detail if it weren't for something that happened. I decided to wear that day a red t-shirt from the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off that said "Save Ferris" on it. And
Okay, I thought you were about to say you were wearing a Yankees jersey.
I was
I was
wearing a
about
Yankee-
to say you're about to die.
But yeah, no, I wore that shirt, and we went down. And first of all, if you're staying in a hotel that has a pancake maker,
Yeah.
What?
do you not know what these are? They're very strange. So it's
I
this
haven't
this
seen one.
little machine that
Oh
says
well, I mean, yeah. Okay, what I heard you wrong. I thought you said, "Have you ever stayed in a hotel as a pancake maker?"
as a
So I was like,
no,
I've never been a pancake
no,
maker.
sir, I haven't.
So, but yeah, I know.
No,
I know.
I
Like
really
the
haven't.
continental breakfast area where
Yeah.
they have like the like waffle maker that they bought
Yeah.
for $20 on eBay.
I had never seen one of these before.
What?
I've seen
this-
waffle ones.
No,
I've never
not this
seen, like,
pancake. So
ones, though.
this is what it was like. It was like a box. It had a conveyor belt, a little like nozzle coming down, and just a plate on the other side of the dispensary. So this is what you do. You would press the button for how many pancakes you wanted. I didn't know that at first. I pressed it. I didn't get any response. So I pressed it again. Didn't get any response. I pressed it 2 more times. Didn't get any response. Suddenly I see 4 pancakes on the way. And, like, and then I just see, like, I had to wait there, and I just see periodically a little bit of, like, just pancake batter, like, being squirted out, and then it just gets cooked, and then right onto my plate.
Yeah, 4 pancakes. That doesn't sound too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad, except these pancakes were like water and bread. It was very bad. But like, I get my stuff, I go to sit down, and everything's good. I'm gonna turn the oh, there's a bug in my room. Where'd he go? Turn that off because it's getting hot and the bugs are
quite toasty.
And the bugs are starting to walk again.
They're starting to walk.
I don't know. I'll find them later. But we we sat there. Like I got my breakfast stuff. I went to go get to the table and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get something. I went, okay, it's just her and I down there.
Did they have those like stupid cereal dispensers with?
Oh my god!
Well,
but we got to
it's like they're all stereotypical.
No, it was completely.
Dude, it's just like finding a place like Okay, I don't want to name places because it might give away like where we're near, but I'm pretty sure everybody has it everywhere. Those ice cream shops are just one story, and they have like the screen windows, and they always have the ice cream, and they sell like burgers and fries,
but no one ever gets the burgers and fries. They're always known just for the ice cream.
You always go there to get like malts or shakes.
And that's all they're ever known for.
They're all the same place. They are the same place.
They really are.
Yeah.
They all have like the high school girls working in them, and they always
just say the name and I'll bleep it out. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about dude.
Oh.
There's like 10 different that I've been to in like this county.
But so yeah, I get my breakfast foods. I sit down. My mom's like, I gotta go get something, so she gets up and walks away. Then suddenly, this girl just walks up to me and goes, "Hello, my name is Sloane," and I went,
Sloane.
I went, okay, cool. And she went, oh my, I'm named after Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh.
And I went, oh, okay, because I wasn't thinking about that at the moment. I had this random. I'm not gonna like.
I got my
pancakes. I don't mean to dig on myself, but I'm not the kind of guy that girls just randomly come up to.
Imagine if she would have started hitting on you.
That would have been.
She
hilarious.
wanted a pancake. Machine must have been out.
But anyway, yeah, she comes up and she's like, "Hey, my name is Sloane." I just thought the whole thing was pretty bizarre. Then like she walks away, and my mom comes up and she's like, "What the hell was that?" Then
Oh, that was slow.
That's slow.
That was slow. Check it. But yeah, no. After that, we went to Boston. Boston's a very nice place in the daytime.
I've always wanted to go to Boston.
I've never wanted to go to Boston.
It's the nighttime that you need to worry about.
Oh my god!
Because
these Snapchats were hilarious.
People walking around with like baseball bats with scissors taped to them, like fall out.
We we decided to go on a midnight, or like not like a midnight, it was close, like a 10 o'clock pilgrimage to the local Wahlburgers.
The Wahlburgers.
And for those of you who don't know, Wahlburgers is a restaurant owned by Mark Wahlberg and his brothers.
You see, I was gonna ask that, but I definitely didn't want to sound stupid. Turns out it's just that.
It's just that. It's that. But we went there and there are no street lights, at least in like a good portion of where we were in Boston. So we were walking in pitch black, like having to like look around every corner, make sure there's not like a mugger. And like we get to Wahlburgers, it's this nice like lighted alleyway, all this like nice lights. I'm like, oh cool. We eat at Wahlburgers. It's amazing. It's like the third best burger I've ever had.
I think it's just weird how like state to state it just like really differs.
Yeah.
Like, going over to I don't know, like Chicago for example. That's just like it's so much different from just like any state along the way to Chicago. For example, I mean, when I went down to Florida, it felt like I was in a completely different country for half a second. Because it was complete opposite of what I've ever expected.
Can we talk about different countries? I've always looked at like us, the United States, as like the middle ground between weird and really good.
Yeah.
Because you have the weird where like there's cheese around the world with live maggots in it that you eat. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Those are crazy. That's crazy.
Sorry, never knew that.
But then there's also the really good stuff like Korean street food. And I was in the group chat talking about this. They all look good, and I bet they all taste good.
Where is it at? It's like a Middle Eastern country where they are like known for just like sitting out in the streets making huge pots of food. What country
I'm pretty
is that?
sure that's Korea, right?
I said Middle Eastern,
No,
not
Middle Eastern.
I don't know. It's one of
Dude,
those,
any
like,
Middle
Arabic
Eastern country,
kinda
if
The only
countries.
Middle Eastern country that comes to mind whenever someone says Middle East for some reason is Saudi Arabia.
I think it.
That's where
it
oil
can't
comes
be Saudi
from.
Arabia.
I
No,
really
dude.
don't think it's all.
Well,
you
whatever,
really
they-
think it's
they
Saudi Arabia.
literally
If you're
sit out
making
there-
huge pots of food in the Middle Eastern country, you're gonna get it robbed. They're stealing it from
Nah,
you.
but like they're pretty wealthy, so they've got like a lot of.
Are you talking about Dubai? I don't think you're talking about Dubai.
No, it's not Dubai, but like they literally just like the street logs of just people with huge bowls, and they're making like huge stone bowls. And they're making like ramen, they're making chicken. I mean, like they're making everything.
Making blueberry muffins.
They're making blueberry muffins.
They're making
yo.
pancakes with a
Whoa!
pancake machine.
Full circle.
Full circle.
But,
Back
like,
to Boston.
I
What's
don't,
up?
I don't really. I'm trying to think if there any more like specific weird stuff that happened in Boston. Do you remember anything else I said?
I just remember you looking disheveled that night.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so
I
I
bought
received the Snapchat, and I was like, oh, I wonder how he's doing, right? And so I open it, wide-eyed. He's like, I'm in darkness. I'm like, is he okay?
There was okay. So no, this is really funny. I went to Boston. The only 2 souvenirs I got when I was there was a pair of Crocs, which you can see like I think it's like right over here.
He got
Yeah,
the
there
pair
it
of
is.
Crocs.
And I also got a Wahlburgers sweatshirt, the legendary Wahlburgers picture, which I'll put up on screen, but I'll black out my face. But it is a great picture.
The Wahlburgers.
But it's like it's just such a funny. Like I don't know why. I just thought it was the night before we left. We went back to Wahlburgers, and I was like, I need that sweatshirt. And I like with all like fiber of my being, I went up and I was like Wahlburgers sweatshirt, and they were like, okay. But that's about it. But like, yeah, Boston is just like a very strange place at night, but it's nice enough in the mornings.
Man, let me tell you about my time in Florida, because I was there for 3 days, and it was a hot mixture of, wow, this place is great, and wow, this place is bad.
Are you going to tell the one story?
Oh, no. We're not going to say that.
Yeah,
How
we're
much
not
have
gonna-
you guys kept from me?
No, you know about this one. This is the one that
The famous picture of me?
Oh.
That you put up. Yeah.
Okay,
But I'm
you
not
got
telling
it.
that. But anyways, so like,
Right,
you
might be
know,
referring to the
this
one.
was like my first time pretty much for everything. It was my first time in an airport, first time on a plane.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've really, all the places I've ever been state-wise, I've just kind of like traveled on the road, or walked. Just kidding.
or walked.
But so I get on the plane, and now I'm like a fan of like plane rides and stuff like that.
You're
I
a
think
fan
it's just,
of plane
yeah.
rides?
I really like it.
Who is a fan of plane
Bro,
rides?
I think I think it was fun.
I bet I would enjoy a plane ride if
A
it were
pla-
under 2 hours.
A plane ride is decent. I just find it like hard to really get into doing anything. Like I bought Minecraft for the Switch like days before I went on the plane, and that was like all I was doing. But I really wish that I went on a plane like halfway or like back when I was playing Breath of the Wild, because I wouldn't even notice I was on a plane.
I just watched One Punch Man the entire way back. Honestly,
That's when I started part 2.
What
of
would
JoJo.
I do, honestly? It would probably just be YouTube videos and iFunny if I were on
Yeah.
a plane. I just watch JoJo clips and Dragon Ball Z clips and just scroll through features.
They encourage you not to use your like data or Wi-Fi on there, but we all know that everybody's using it after they're getting up in the
It
air.
was so funny when we were about to take off. Like the person was like, "Oh, please do not use your mobile data," and I just see like this girl on Instagram going,
just scrolling. But anyway, so we touchdown in Florida.
You don't do
And-
sports.
Yeah, I don't like sports. It's all right. So yeah, we get to Florida, and you know, like, it doesn't look that nice. I mean, it still was like early morning, basically.
"Well, you're in Florida."
But like, I was amazed because like this is my first ever time seeing palm trees, and I'm like, dude, I love palm trees.
Oh my god.
So like we go through the airport, and you know it's around Christmas time, so the entire airport is just like lit up. You could say that it is lit, maybe, but
And you can kill yourself.
Red's. This is why Red left Lounge.
Yeah. But anyways, so we get through like the little security check again. It's like ooga booga. And we get into like the main Orlando airport, and just like boom, massive Christmas tree that's like 20 to 30 feet tall. And I'm like, I thought I was breaking my neck just looking around. And I was like, huh? And then I looked around and my parents weren't even nearby. I was like, where did they go?
Dude, it's Home Alone in Florida.
Then we had to like take a little like train, like transit kind of thing over to like the main airport. But I think this about sums up Florida if you saw this view. But like when you're on the train, it goes through the open, and obviously it's just a rail over to the next thing, and you can look out the window, bright blue pond, bright green grass. It's like what you would think is the perfect world, kind of. Everything was like bright and colorful.
I have also been to Florida, and I will tell you exactly why I disagree.
No, I'm saying just specifically this area,
And
right?
I have like never been out of the state. I don't think. Well, of course I've been out of the state for
I was about to
vacations
say,
and stuff.
I feel like you would have been.
I've never gone further away from us than North Carolina.
I've never been to North Carolina. I think the furthest I've been away before Florida was probably, I don't know.
I think the furthest I've been
DC or
away is
Chicago?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Bro, that's
That
insane.
is
I want to go there.
Way
That's way over there.
Yeah, just tell everyone we're on the eastern side already.
Yeah.
So
That's fine to know.
you know,
I do want to say though, best state, Tennessee. They got some cooking in Tennessee. They got something cooking.
Don't.
They
I'll
got
tell you
cook-
exactly why.
Tennessee really doesn't have
I've
any.
been
Tell
to
me
I've
why.
been to Tennessee many times throughout my childhood, and like even once like a couple years back.
Been there once.
But okay, so there's this place in Kentucky that my dad and I like to eat. It's this very nice little rib place named I think
Sonny's.
and it's the best ribs ever, best sauce. And so we thought, you know what, let's try some of the when we get down to Tennessee. Let's try some of the local food. Let's try some of that ribs, some of the pizza. Those were the worst ribs and the worst pizza that
No,
I've
you're going to the
ever
wrong
had.
places.
Where am I supposed
No,
to
you
go?
gotta
You
go to
shouldn't.
them.
Okay, here's my thing with traveling places. You shouldn't have to like go to the corners of every single state
No, I
just
like-
to find like
I like
good,
that.
decent local
I
food.
like that a bit.
Look.
I like that. I like the idea of that.
I feel
Well,
like
here's
if
the
your
deal.
signature is something,
Yeah, obviously.
it should be more localized, not like out in the boonies to be able to go and
Well,
go and
No.
see something.
I remember on our original, my dad, my grandpa, and I went on a southern trip in like 2015. Where we went down to the Gulf of Mexico. But there was this we went on like the Blues Trail, and on that trail, like online, there was like, oh yeah, come to this bar. That's like live blues music. And my dad and grandpa followed. Like they left me at the hotel, but they told me all this when they got back. They're like we had to follow this trail that Google Maps was giving us, and it took us to this little shack out in the middle of fucking nowhere that had like the sign that said like, welcome to whatever the bar's name was. But there was nothing in there. It was like a condemned building out in the middle of nowhere. So they're like, we're
Oh
getting
my
out of
gosh.
here.
Well, here's the deal. My family does all kinds of research before we head out on vacations. So you already
same with
know
mine.
when it comes to... What'd you say?
I said same with mine.
Okay. I thought you said something about Epstein.
Well, let me tell you something
with
about
Epstein.
Epstein. Same
Something
with
about
Epstein.
Epstein. No, my family does a lot of research before we go. So, like, as soon as we decide we're going on a vacation in like a year, we start. So we're already looking for houses to book. We'll book them like 6 months in advance if we have to.
Someone said book.
And then we research the town around it. We only eat at restaurants if they're over 4 stars with over 200 reviews. That's how we make sure, 1, we aren't wasting money, and 2, we're getting an
That
experience.
seems fair.
That is a very fair thing.
That's
to say.
like 100. Like we don't do none of this like drive around town searching for something randomly. Nah.
No,
It
you got that
depends.
shit planned out.
My dad, he doesn't like wasting money.
It
And
depends
he-
on like which part of the family I'm with, because like little bit of context. My parents have been divorced since I was 3, but we like there's a big difference in going on a vacation with my stepdad and my mom and like his kids, or going with my dad. My dad is cool about it. Like we'll go wherever. We'll generally have a good time. My stepdad, he can be a bit of a nutcase on vacations. But Boston was the best one in a while. But like it can get to a point where like he's fairly OCD, but he manages it quite well. But vacations, he's on it. Like he's on it the entire time. He's like, all right, we're going here, here, and here.
Yeah, that's how my dad is. He likes to stay active on vacations.
And
my mom is
I'm
like
a mix of it.
My mom is like almost opposite of that because my mom likes we'll say we like rent out like a log cabin in the woods. My mom is totally down with like sitting by the pool or like staying in for a day. My dad's trying to knock out all sorts of attractions every day. Never like stay too like isolated while we're on vacation because that's usually just how we play out normal life. So as of recently we've been trying to mix it up, but that's how I'm basically just how I reminded of the Tennessee trip, which we had a hot tub in our Tennessee cabin. That was pretty nice.
Man, the one thing that I want to do is I want to go on a cruise.
You want to go on a cruise?
Oh
right.
My God.
I've never been on a cruise.
LLLoungecast on the water.
Ooh.
I've been,
it's in the kiddie pool
like,
outside.
Yeah, in the kiddie pool. Almost every single person in my family is kind of like afraid of like water. I guess like in terms of like boating or anything
I'm
that.
not afraid of water. I'm afraid of boats.
I am skeptical with water that I can't see through.
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical.
I wouldn't even
boats.
say I'm skeptical. I just kind of like it's the same thing with airplanes. Like it's like you're high up. Yeah. And all you see is the clouds. Okay, it's like, all right, whatever.
Let me tell you, or I have a question for you.
What?
How many times did you ever at one point in your trip through the airplane did you accept that you probably were going to die? That there's like a decent chance.
I had the thought of like what happens. Well, we hit turbulence for like a lot of on our way there. Because that reminds me.
Let me tell you, everybody thinks about it. I'm telling you, everybody sits there on the plane and has that moment, and you're lying if you're saying you don't, where you're just like, this thing could crash, and this could be the last thing I do.
So like, this thing could crash. Am I prepared to be the one that people eat? Like, if we get stranded?
Oh, no, I'm always contemplating, like, dying on impact.
Yeah, I mean...
Or drowning myself.
So, my stepdad is not a big fan of planes at all. Because,
he doesn't look like he'd be.
Well, he would be... Aside from the fact that, like, hey, the last time he was on an airplane was actually down to Orlando when he took my stepbrothers to Disney or whatever.
Right.
And it was, like, the exact same day that another, like, airliner of the exact same, like, company went down, like, in just the state over. So that could have easily been him.
Oh, yeah, that could have swayed some opinions.
So he wasn't really happy about the fact that we had to go via plane down to Orlando. He joked around with it. I don't think he ever would have went through it. He was like, I'm just going to drive there, and I'll meet you guys there. And I was like, that's not going to happen. So, like, he's pretty on edge for most of the plane ride. He said he wanted to sleep, but he just physically couldn't. Mm-hmm. But it didn't make it any better when we were just about to land and everything. It was about like 10 minutes. And about like usually, and I even read up on this, like about 10 minutes before they land, they're like, hey, we're, having our descent and everything.
Right.
That's the last thing that they'll tell you. And, like, usually people look out the window to just see where they're at, yada, yada, yada. And, I was aware that we were about to hit the ground. Stepdad wasn't.
Oh, no.
And the airplane hit really hard onto the ground.
Please.
I've never seen my stepdad jump higher than he did in an airplane. And I was sitting over in the other seat laughing at him. And he's like, that's not funny. And I'm like, oh, it's real funny. But, like, yeah, we got into our hotel and everything. And, well, it took us, like, over an hour and a half to get into our hotel and everything, because by the time we got there, they didn't even have it ready. And the maid was taking like 7 years to clean from the last person. So we had to sit out in like the lobby, which was kind of stupid because we were just sitting there for an hour and a half. You know, it costs like $50-some for only like 4 of us to eat. For like mediocre food too, and it kind of sucked.
A lot of like hotel food is not great.
But we stayed in a really nice place because like my sister and I find like the same interest in terms of like Disney. So we stayed in what's known as the All Stars Movie Resort.
All right.
And like all throughout it, they had like 101 Dalmatians like section where everything was like featured like that. They had the Fantasia section, which is easily my favorite. So like they had a huge statue of the Book of Fantasia, and it was like massive, probably like 30 feet tall.
By the way, I have a question. You went to you walked around Disney World, right?
No.
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 Pushed in a baby wagon.
But you were there, correct?
Yes, I saw like.
Were you ever at any point in a Disney World, or like, in the Disney World?
If you
like
if you exclude Epcot, no.
Okay, no. So I have a bit of like a side tangent for a minute. We took a band trip down to Florida like my freshman year, and we went to Epcot, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Universal Studios. But Magic Kingdom, I don't know about anyone who's watching. If you've been to Disney World, have you ever seen a mascot character walking around there? I sure didn't. Not a single. I don't know if I was there. I don't know if I was there on an off day, but like, you ever seen like movies, like videos online? It's like, oh yeah, look at all these mascots walking around Magic Kingdom. Not a one. I did not see a single one.
Oh man,
it was very strange. Yeah, continue with your story.
So yeah, first day pass and everything, and so I went down there for my stepbrother's wedding, and so we wake up bright and early. I think we had to be like down to the hotel by like 7 o'clock. So we woke up around like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It didn't take me to get that long because it's always the females that always take the longest. I mean, I'm sorry for any female viewers, but
you kind of
it's kind of how it is. I'm sorry. So that's why we were all forced to wake up at 4 o'clock because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep with them yelling and all that kind of stuff. So we get down to the hotel lobby and everything. We're just kind of waiting around. Then a limo rolls up, and I was like, I was expecting a bus, okay, to like take us. We were going to like do pictures and stuff because we're like immediate family. And we got picked up in a limo, and it was a pretty sizable limo, and we were all like in our dress clothes and all that kind of stuff, like suits and all that. We get to this place called the Grand Floridian, which is just like, if you would see in any Disney movie, just like a grand hall, that's exactly what it looked like. Had a huge gingerbread house that was made all of gingerbread, 40-foot like Christmas tree. That's what like the two things that we took pictures mostly in front of. We get over to the wedding hall itself. That was decorated like in like pure white. It was like almost blinding to look into. Man,
you're white.
Like our experience earlier.
Oh my gosh.
So,
can we talk about that?
We can talk about that for a minute.
Okay, guys, right before we started this podcast, we had to drive. I had to drive. So I was bringing these guys, because we went to Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
As most normal people do. I'm not excluding anyone. I'm just saying Chick-fil-A is pretty good food. Mm-hmm. Chicken is 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I like Chick-fil-A. But that's not the point. You see, we got Chick-fil-A, and then we were driving back, and the way the sun was just glaring on the road, because it was snowing all day, and it recently turned into rain, and then recently even more sunshine. Mm-hmm. So the sun was glaring on the bright, wet road into like my eyes.
It was the white bridge to heaven. Like it was that like blinding. Like all of a sudden we go over the hill and I just hear screaming from the front seat of him going, "Woo!"
I am screaming because I can't see anything, and it's a windy road almost.
Right.
Like at the very end of it, it's pretty windy.
So we get to the wedding hall. The wedding's like going on and everything. I swear, I've never seen one of my stepbrothers cry ever, but that was damn near the closest time I've ever seen him cry. And he almost made me cry because, like, he was getting all emotional and stuff like that, and I could see that, and I was like, man, this guy might actually cry on his wedding day. Like, I think that's a normal thing.
Right.
A lot of people do that. But, like, I would have never expected that on my brother. I really wouldn't have. He's a very strong and tough kind of person. I would have never expected him to even shed a tear. But he was getting damn near close.
Hey guys, Blue here. There was a story that we had to cut out here, and there's no good segue into the new topic, so here you go. So, to get into our final section
on the show,
segment of this episode, I wanted to do a little like a first date thing, where we just like answer some questions,
right.
try and like let you get to know about ourselves.
Perfect timing. We're on 39 minutes right now, so this will probably fill out the hour.
I think so. Let's see. I'm gonna look up like first date questions. I don't know how this is gonna go.
I've never been on one of these. Well, minus prom, but that's a different story.
Prom is a different story for a different time.
It's a different story for never.
Let me tell you guys, though, pufferfish meme is probably one of my favorites that just came out there. But, let me tell you, damn straight, that meme makes me laugh every single time. Every time. My favorite meme of all time right now is the famous Nemo scene where it's just like shark bait, ooh ah, but instead of it's
That's the only one that makes me laugh anymore.
Look,
it's just so well.
I remember distinctly you saying that meme sucked when I showed it to you.
Well, I said it.
You said the same thing about the snail meme. That's amazing.
It's so dumb.
It's so funny though. I remember I was over at your house.
The slug eating like a cucumber or whatever.
I was over at your house, and you were on Instagram, and every minute I just hear, "Oh, baby boy."
Bro, it's so dumb. It's the same. No, I can't even say it's the same.
And I just hear, "God damn it!"
It's so dumb because there's no sustenance
It's
to
so
it. There's no
funny.
difference. It's
You
just
think
like
there's any sustenance to?
It's
Yeah,
so
there is.
It's so funny to me, not because of the meme, but because of every time you react, it's just God damn it.
because that's all it was. All my Instagram feed was that.
Oh.
It was just that meme. Always.
And now the hated meme is Zam Zaddy.
I hate you.
Zam
Zaddy.
Let's see. What are some good
First date questions.
What's your favorite color?
Mine is yellow.
Bruh.
Wow, good one, Orange.
Oh, weird.
Me and yellow are very tight knit.
God,
I got 10 perfect questions to ask on the first date to really get to know someone.
Right, let's
We'll see if they're good or bad. But what makes you unique? Yes, out yourself to the whole...
Not a goddamn thing.
I'd say personally what makes me unique is just how, like, outgoing and just I don't care. And I don't care about what people think anymore. And it's just like I'm willing to say a lot. What I want to say and how what I think is funny, and I don't really care what other people think about it. It's funny to me. I'm not trying to entertain anybody.
I'll ask you. What do you think are some unique things about me?
Oh man, I could say a lot.
You could say a lot.
You've got a unique look that I've been able to replicate.
It's pretty.
Over and over again on some art.
I'd say that there's really nobody that's ever been such a mixture. I guess.
A mixture?
Yeah, you're
Care
like
to
a
elaborate?
mix. Yeah, you're like a mixture. See, like
a mixture of white and black.
Usually there's like, you know, inside of a person, it's like, oh, like they've got these like two traits that they mainly are just like a part of. No, you are like every single one that's just like curled up into a bunch.
Yeah. I can tell you some. I can tell something unique about Orange over here.
The people I hang out
He's
with.
a unit.
He has the unique quality to feel completely welcoming, and like he'll absolutely beat the shit out of you at any given moment.
Oh my
Well,
god.
yeah, I got that kind of.
When I first met him, back in like middle school, I was terrified of this guy.
I met him last year, and it took me legit like 5 months to really get along with him because I didn't know if he liked me or not.
Yeah,
was just like-
that's how it goes down. Nobody knows if I want to beat their ass or.
You really have
like,
to just
get
kind of
one.
like, just kind of force your way.
Oh, no, yeah, I played it by ear for a while until like the last semester of last year when it was like, oh, okay, we're cool now.
I guess
Right.
something unique I can say about myself is just how carefree I am about things.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say so.
You guys can talk about some deep shit. I'll just be like, yeah. What are some fun random facts about you? Yeah, what are some fun random facts about you, Blue?
I can say a random fact about the group that's pretty fun.
Oh, let's
Okay,
hear
what's
it.
going on?
We're all different degrees of weeaboo.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, yeah.
Entirely.
Look, I am the least and the most at the same time.
yeah,
Yeah.
most certainly.
Because like you, I would say I watch the most variety of shows. You are just the most weeaboo about a certain show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, I like Dragon Ball Z so much.
Oh my god.
You have no idea.
It is amazing.
Even the shows that I like,
I think
I like JoJo,
Mhm.
but I've never watched an entire part.
We all love Death Note,
right.
but like,
You know, I can't say this with much pride, but I do like Tokyo Ghoul.
and that is where it gets bad.
No, okay.
That's why he left loud.
No, I like. No, here's the problem. I like season 1. Season 2 was good, and then when you get to Tokyo Ghoul Re, it's just. I would prefer if that just didn't ever exist, because that's a main reason why a lot of people associate Tokyo Ghoul with like a very bad thing, because that's where a lot of the bad fan base came out of.
I'm in a constant like moral dilemma with myself of like, because every time I see a poster like that that's from an anime I enjoy, I always like look at it and I'm like, okay, does that look like it's gay to hang on my wall? The only one I have is this massive Persona 5 one because I think it's awesome.
Let's
Right.
be real. There are no gay Dragon Ball posters.
No, there are like you can get away with a Dragon Ball poster.
Dude, Dragon Ball posters, what?
I can't
like,
get away
what-
with an Evangelion one.
I don't think
features
I
any
even
of the
own a
characters.
single
Yeah.
anime poster. I've always thought about that.
Well-
You kind of just bring that up. I haven't owned a single anime.
JoJo
Well-
and like Persona are the only ones I can say are like I can look at that and say like, oh, this person's probably not autistic.
Look
Probably.
here, I'm just saying I'm the one who just bought, or I'm the one who just received the entire Dragon Ball manga, 26 volumes for Christmas. So
Now
now
that-
I have a Dragon Ball Z poster.
Man, now I need to buy a JoJo poster. Or
Not-
something.
I also need
Not
get
to mention
JoJo.
I got 10 Dragon Ball Z pops at the moment and 3 statues. I'm a
Jeez.
fucking dragon weeb.
Now see, I don't own that much in terms of pop figures. The only one I have is Asuka up there. But they just released an entire wave of Evangelion figures, and
And yet they don't
Let me
have any
tell you.
JoJo figures.
they don't, and I'm mad about that.
Can
They,
we?
They
the
can have
most
so many.
unique
that?
characters, the
They-
most unique stands, the
could
most unique
so
designs.
many.
You could come up with so many
I
cool
would get
pops.
every one.
And it's just, it's a really, really
Like,
missed
oh,
opportunity.
what a cool idea would be is like all of like the main villains, like like Dio, Kira, all of them. Like those are like the not limited edition ones, but like what are considered the bigger ones, where like they have like their stands like that are attached to them.
Yeah.
Sort of, it looks like.
I would want those ones where it's like movie moments where it's like Thanos snap or something.
Right.
I'd want one that's like was like Jotaro and Dio walking up to each other with the world and Star Planet. How cool
Yeah,
would
that's
that
like
be?
such
Either
a big
that or
movie.
like
How would that be?
like the Road Roller one.
Whoo!
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
There's just so many missed opportunities.
Or you could, because I know,
We've gotten
Dragon-
so off topic.
they
but
also
this is
have,
great.
it's because they also have pops where it's like the regular pop, but like there's a mini one next to it. That could be
Yeah.
like the stands and the users.
That'd be so
Like
cool.
Jotaro with a mini Star Platinum down there. It would be really, really cool.
Or like Kira with a small Killer Queen. I would totally cop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get like a golden Dio as a limited edition.
I'd get a Diavolo pop, honestly. I don't know. It's hard to say whether or not Diavolo or Dio is probably my favorite. Kira is a close second.
I like Diavolo a bit more completely thanks to Doppio.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, we're completely going off.
We are on question 2. Now we're on question 3. The last one was a random fact about us. We're all weebs. Number 3. What's something you want to learn or wish you were better at? Okay, I'm going to go first on this one. I wish I was better at showing emotion. You heard it earlier. I look like I'm fine, and then I also look like I want to kill everyone.
Yeah.
It's usually the first part of that. I don't often want to kill people. Okay, so
Not often.
I just kind of I wish I was a little bit more welcoming. That's that.
I'm trying to think what I would like to learn a bit more, or I guess be better at.
What do you wish you were better at?
I wish I was better at being creative. That's like one thing I'm not very good at.
I think everybody kind of wishes they were better at being creative to some degree.
Because it's something like I know a lot of people that can just pull ideas out of nowhere. Completely like name something like
Purple.
Throughout this entire Purple, my God,
Purple knows how to pull some stuff out of his ass.
He has such an innate ability to come up with the weirdest shit.
Yeah, you guys don't know about the extended lounge verse.
Oh, when Purple gets on the cast, which he will be soon.
We have purple, yellow, and green.
When he gets on the cast, and it will be soon, we will have to tell all the stories that we've been through.
Oh my God!
I've known Purple a lot more than I've known these guys. For a lot longer, at least.
But yeah, I'm kind of like a middleman, I guess. It's like I'm creative sometimes, but then there's like those times that I hit like a solid roadblock for a long time where I'm just like, man, I don't know what to do in a situation.
I'm good with working with other people's material. That's why I'm a good editor, and that's why I'm good at writing reviews, because I'm good at basing my ideas off something. I can't write something completely original. I'll sit at my computer for like 5 hours.
Right. I procrastinate like quite a bit, and I think that's probably my biggest flaw. I don't know, like I like doing things. It's just like getting to the point of actually doing it.
Yeah.
Is my problem.
Be more proactive.
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
Okay, so number 5 is number 4 is would you rather. Telling us that on our first date we should ask would you rather questions. So
I don't know about that one.
Do we have any just I don't know. I guess
skip.
Skip. Number 5. Know any good jokes?
No. I know one really good joke that never fails to get a laugh out of me.
Well, let's hear.
I've told both of you guys this joke. It's a little bit of backstory. Yellow and I were in Chicago for a band trip about a year ago.
I think I know this one.
And it was after we saw Blue Man Group, and we were on the bus, and there's this subreddit named Anti-Jokes, and it can either be terrible or the funniest thing you'll ever read. And so him and I are trading these jokes and like laughing, but this joke killed both of us. It's, I'm not like most teenage girls, because I'm a 37-year-old man.
I'm not like most.
Let me tell you, the first time I heard that, probably the hardest I've ever laughed.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm not really good with like when I'm put on the spot with jokes. I'm more so like a random person. Like,
oh no, yeah. Like there's sometimes where I can come up with a joke that's really funny.
Where like if someone gives me prior material, I can make a joke out of that real easily.
All of the jokes that I make suck.
I think the best thing I've ever said.
I don't know, man. Was, you made some real good jokes.
Are you comfortable with me telling the 1814 thing?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I don't think that's safe.
Whatever.
But go ahead.
So. Red was talking to. He was conversating.
He was
conversating with a freshman.
Right.
Now it didn't go anywhere, but we were joking with him like, are you gonna date a freshman? But it got to like he said, I don't think it's that weird. But then I said, okay.
I mean, I personally don't think it's that weird.
Look, Blue threw it into some perspective like this.
But like I was like, okay, put it into perspective like this. It's a lot different if you're a teenager or if you're in your 20s. It's different.
Right.
It is. So like 28, 24. You know, it's not that bad. 18, 14.
And then that's when we both died, and that's when we all decided that yeah,
that's when I decided. I was like, all right, man.
You can't get around that. It's so different.
It's different, but like, it's also putting into perspective that like, my dad was dating my mom when she was still in high school and he was out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's weird, but it's not weird of this time, I guess.
No.
Because things like, if you have a 2-year difference anymore, it's like, you are a freak.
No, because, like, it's not that bad once you're, like, out of high school and you're in your 20s. It's just that ages are so polarizingly different.
Yeah, especially during, like, high school.
From, like, ages, like, 13 to 18.
The contrast is
so
just
different.
there. Look, here, like, middle school, when you get into high school, is like, oh, that's that kiddie shit.
Yeah.
So then you're in your senior year, and then you're like, people look at that freshman like, dude, they were just in middle school. They were in middle school this year.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucking a middle schooler?
Like,
no.
So I have a bit of a story, and I won't reveal any names, but in band, we have this little program for band camp where it's like, you have, like, a freshman buddy that you, like, look after or, like, just have fun with. You, like, dress up on certain days. Like, there's, like, funny costumes you put on. Like, there's look-alike day, and we both wore ramen shirts. It was funny.
Right.
But it's this girl that I see as, like, a complete, like, little sister. Like, I would not think of it any other way, especially since she's just a mini me. But I remember one of the guys in our senior group decided to get with a freshman.
Oh my god.
And that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Was it his? Was it his freshman?
No, it wasn't his. That would have been really weird.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, no, because, like, I remember, like, at first I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm happy for him that he finally got a girlfriend. And then I thought about it more when I was hanging out with this freshman and, like, with my freshman and, like, a couple other people. I thought, hey, wait a minute. This person that I see as a little sister, my little sister is a freshman. And this dude is dating a girl her age. I was not okay with that. I was like, okay.
It's just like,
I don't know, man.
you have to you have to put some thoughts aside to be able to be completely good with that.
Yeah, it's like, whew.
Some people just like, well, people date people at different ages all the time. It's just the time.
You can wait. Like, it really is just.
If you're gonna be together, don't tell anyone about it at least, because
it's just weird. It's
yeah,
it's
a lot of
strange.
people view that as kind of weird.
Okay, let's move on to question 6. Though. What's something that bugs you? Pirating video games.
I don't understand why it bugs you so
much. Okay, look, it's just...
I can understand it being a moral difference, but I don't understand it bugging you too much.
Yeah, it's more of a moral difference, but it always just wraps around to me, like, deciding that the guy didn't get paid for some of the work that he did. He did, they get millions, but
they get immediate payment,
but they
though. Most of the money that when you buy a game goes to the publishers.
So I think
we're not going to spend too long on this.
No.
You say your thoughts, Red. And then we'll move on to what bugs you guys.
In terms of that, it's just like, I have morals in a sense of, like, it's similar to you, but my strict policy is to never pirate an indie game. Because indie games don't have, like...
Yeah, if you pirate indie games, we're going to have to come fuck you up.
They are their own developer, and they are their own publisher. Most developers get money from their publisher to be able to develop the game. And that's how all of their workers get paid, yada, yada, yada. Now, all of the money that gets to the game goes back to the publisher.
You're right, yeah.
So, if it's a scummy company like EA, for example...
Oh, I don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad at all. Because I know that the workers that are like who made Star Wars?
EA, they did.
No,
they
published
EA and
it.
Respawn.
Respawn is the devs for it.
Yeah.
So
I feel bad for Respawn. I don't feel bad for EA.
Respawn got their money. Okay, so it's basically me supporting EA, which has butt fucked me multiple times, and I'm not gonna pay them back for this bullshit. So like, but yeah, like. I recently just bought Stardew Valley, and I love the game. I've already clocked 5 hours, and it's only been less than 1 day.
That's a word.
I've had the game since it came out, and I have about 120 hours just that year.
I can check how many hours I know I grinded it. We're just gonna move on to the next question.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, wait.
I don't really have
something that bugs you guys though.
Something
just
that
like,
bugs me are
maybe not so controversial as pirating.
No, I have one. And this is like very recent thing.
It's like a pet peeve or something.
I hate people who, especially people.
I hate people.
I hate people.
You know what? Fuck them.
I don't say it so loud. Anyway, I hate people who, like, especially our age, that decide to just be dumb for no reason. Like, it's not even funny.
Oh yeah, we all know who you're talking about.
Like, not even that. I'll just say, I'll bleep this out, but
Yeah.
Oh my god.
every day I have English with him, and every day him and that bleeping out again kid, they completely like try to ruin everybody's day by being the dumbest people. I don't get it. It's like, why can't you just shut up and let me have a good morning?
I hate people that like don't get a hint.
They don't take hints.
Oh,
Right. So here's my problem with that. I'm not a very direct person unless I really need to be. Which more times than not, I really am not. There's been a couple people up to recent where I've had to be really direct with them because they're just not getting it.
no.
But I try to tend not to be super direct with people because, like, I feel like it's important for people to notice, like, discomfort in people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
And there's just a lot of people that don't.
Right. And it annoys me. It annoys me to a really, an undistinguishable extent. Because it's just like, how? How can you not understand that, like, man, I am not okay with what's going on, and you need to just leave.
Or just certain people that, like are cool and everything, but they're just annoying.
Right.
Like, they don't take the hint that, hey, maybe tone it back a bit.
Right. They just don't get it.
But yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying.
Our next question is pretty good. And what's the most embarrassing thing that you can remember that's happened to you?
Ooh.
And there are some embarrassing things that I can remember. I just don't know if I want to talk about.
I'm trying to think of like the most embarrassing, because I've had like little embarrassing things, but never anything that's like earth-shattering. Like, I gotta get out of here. I have some personally embarrassing things. Things that I've only told a select few people.
Can I go with mine first?
I can think of a really, really recent one that happened that was just kind of fun, but go ahead.
Okay. So this is when I first started like practice driving and stuff like that. And, I went out driving with my stepfather. And we decided, hey, it was early in the morning, we're gonna go to Burger King. And we're eating Burger King and everything, and we're about to leave and everything, and I was like, all right, I gotta use the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm using the bathroom, I'm shitting, that's how it be. And I noticed there's no toilet paper. And that was the moment of just like, oh no. So I'm sitting here on the toilet, stuck in a Burger King bathroom, in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know where we're at. Like I said, this is like my first time driving, like, around that time. And, I'm not used to the roads or anything. I have no idea where I'm at. I'm lost. I was just following directions from my stepfather. And so, I'm like, man, I am in quite the predicament because I have no idea what to do. I was like searching through my, my brain trying to think of ideas. I was like, all right, maybe I can like use like a wet wipe type thing where it's like I'm gonna rush out of the stall, wet like one of the hand paper towel things, and wipe my ass with it. Okay, that was my original thought.
Why'd you wet it?
But then I was like, because it wouldn't be fucking sandpaper. So I was like, all right, that's not gonna work because what if someone comes in?
Did you ever think about like going under the stall and getting into the
It was
one?
the only stall.
Oh my
like
God.
I said.
Oh no.
I guess I zoned out for that part. Oops.
Well, I didn't state that, but like.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah. So I was like, man, my stepdad's ready to go, and I am totally not. I do not know what to do. So I look over at the empty toilet paper roll, and I'm like, there's only one option here. So I start wiping my ass with the empty toilet paper roll. And I just throw it away in the trash can. Because like, I'm not going to put it in the toilet and it will like clog up the toilet. So I throw a shitty toilet paper roll into the trash can.
You better be like thanking the gods that was able to do the job.
Oh my God.
Because I can tell
really
you,
was,
6 out of 10 times at least, that would not be able to finish.
Oh
the
yeah.
job.
No.
It was like one of those 2 wipes and done kind of thing. And I was like, whoo! So like I get out of the bathroom and I had a text, but I wasn't looking at my phone. I was too interested in other things. And you know, my stepdad texted me. He's like, "All right, I'll be out in the car waiting for you." And I get in the driver's seat, and I'm like, "We've gotta go." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I explained it to him. He's like, "Oh my God, you are nasty." I was like, I had no other option. And so we're driving. I drive all the way home, guilty of just ruining some poor worker's day that had to take the trash out. Oh my God, I felt so bad. And I told my mother about it, and she was laughing hysterically. And they wouldn't stop bringing it up for like a week.
Have I ever told either of you the Wendy's story?
No.
I think you did.
So both Red and I here are still learning how to drive. And this was about a year ago now. I don't know if a lot of you have ever had this experience, but you never think about it until it happens. You're on the road, right? And then you get the 1 in 10, you gotta shit now moments.
Oh, yeah.
And I had that immediately when I was like, because, okay, to describe the surrounding area, we live in I live at least in a semi-big town. And my dad lives in a slightly smaller town. And like through that, or like in the middle of that, there's just country roads. So we had to drive, because there's no bathrooms out there, for 30 minutes. So I'm sitting there all tunnel vision, like trying to get to the Wendy's that I know is there, and like immediately I park the car, I run in, and I just go bathroom, and they go.
Here's the deal: Chick-fil-A is best chicken, Wendy's is best burgers. Yes, that's it.
So Chick-fil-A has the best chicken.
I think Culver's is best.
No way.
Is best cheap burgers. Five Guys is best burgers.
Yeah, Five Guys is best burgers.
Yeah, if you want to spend $30.
See,
per
that's exactly
patty.
I said Culver's is
look,
the best budget.
I'm just in with the square beef. Okay,
that's fine, and you can be. I'm not saying that the Wendy's burgers are bad. I'm not saying.
Wendy's has the Baconator. That's all I'm saying.
They do have the Baconator.
We have 3 questions left. We'll decide which ones we want to answer. We have 1 hour and 8 minutes on the clock.
Well, like an
First,
13 on the.
First question is, what is your favorite place? We'll just do rapid fire, actually. What's your favorite place on Earth?
Favorite place on Earth? Probably my hometown.
Yeah, it's home.
Japan. I don't like.
You weird.
Oh, look, I don't like the exact place that.
I didn't even notice that.
Damn it. Alright, we're gonna have to bleep that out. I live in a place that literally is Silent Hill.
I don't like
though.
Silent Hill.
My favorite place on Earth.
Why?
We just gotta make your life hell, alright?
Okay, number 9. Who are the special people in your life? Now, I know Blue has a girlfriend, but the special person in my life is my dog. His name is Logo. And that may out me to some people who know me, but my dog Logo is just like the sweetest fucking idiot ever. And like he'll like run. He's a Shih Tzu. He'll run around the house. He'll like go too fast and then ram his ass into the couch and then look like an idiot afterwards. It's so cute.
The special people in my life are my girlfriend, dad, mom, friends, and my siblings.
Yeah, who needs
That's it.
I'll personally say, like, very specifically, my mother and father, including in my stepdad. I've had a lot of problems and stuff like that with like school, and they've just always been supportive. There's never been a time where they just really haven't. Or I mean, even if they like don't like understand, they always try to. So like they're kind of my special people, really.
Yeah, I'm not. By the way, I like my mom and dad too.
No, you don't.
I'm not outing myself as like I don't like my parents there. The last thing is, what's something you're proud of? And for me, I'm proud of my faith. Your boy is a Christian, and sometimes in the world that we have today, a lot of people think it might be hard to follow that kind of path, and I'm just glad that I was able to do it and continue doing it.
I don't think it's hard to follow. It's just a personal thing that I don't really like about
Well,
it.
you know, there's always people asking those questions like, why do people die if, like, you know,
it's another.
He's so good.
It's another thing, and I won't get too into it because it's
This is
extremely personal.
definitely
but
touchy subject territory.
Another like it's a very small reason, but like another reason is like just the fact that it was forced onto me when I was younger.
It was forced onto me as well.
Yeah,
And,
it's
like,
obviously
and I
very,
just, like,
that's a turn off when it
it's
comes
like
to
I didn't like I it's just plus it just didn't really gel with me even when I was younger.
Yeah, it's not quite your vibe.
Something I'm proud of is just how far I've come. I feel like I didn't really have a good school life at all, ever. But I've definitely, at least within the last 4 years, came very far. Very far from how I used to be. I wasn't proud of myself back then, but I'm very proud of myself now.
Yeah.
That fucking squeaker.
I'm proud of
Back in freshman year. That's how I view myself.
I'm proud of I don't know, I'm just proud of like certain things I've done, like this YouTube channel. I'm proud that it's finally off the ground.
It's off the ground.
I'm proud of actually finding that I like editing.
Yeah. Another thing that I'm proud of though about myself is like I do track and I really enjoy lifting, and I'm proud of myself whenever I'm able to like get a new max. Which happened recently. Your boy's pushing 225 for 5 on bench press.
Woo!
I just dropped my phone.
And there it goes.
Well,
Well,
that's the end of the questions.
that's the end of the question. That's really all I got.
I got an hour 13.
Y'all got anything else to say?
Bye.